Hello and welcome back to our lectures on gas transport. In this video, we're going to go over the diffusion of gases. Okay, so I want to start by reminding you that in order for our gases to make it from our alveoli into our blood or vice versa, there are a couple things that need to happen. Those gases need to dissolve in the liquid, and then they need to cross several membranes. Okay, so we just finished talking about the dissolving in the liquid part. We talked about solubility, etc. Um, now I want to focus on this part, crossing several membranes. So the diffusion across the membranes. Okay, I want to start by taking a look at the membranes that our gases are going to need to cross as they move between the alveoli and the blood. Okay, so just to orient you to this figure here, what you see in white here is the alveolar airspace, the air inside the alveoli. Okay, down here in yellow beige is the inside of the capillary lumen. Okay, and then you can see that to get from one to the other, we have a variety of membranes that we need to cross. So first we need to cross the epithelium of the alveoli. Then we have these kind of fused basement membranes between the alveoli and the next thing, which is the endothelium of the capillary. Okay, so we need to get across these membranes, and our diffusion across these membranes is going to depend on these factors here: surface area, concentration gradient, barrier permeability, and diffusion distance. Okay, so what I would like you to do right now is take a moment, hit pause, and consider this question: how would diffusion rate be affected by each of these variables here? So go ahead and again, hit pause, think through that, and then when you're ready, you can go ahead and go over the answers with me. Okay, so hopefully you figured this out. So look at going through each of these, right? As surface area increases, our diffusion rate is going to increase because we have a greater area over which diffusion can happen. As our concentration gradient increases, our diffusion rate is going to increase because we have a greater driving force for our molecules to diffuse. As our barrier permeability goes up, our diffusion rate is also going to go up, right? So the more permeable the barrier is to the gases that are diffusing across it, the easier it's going to be for them to do that. And that's going to bring up the rate. Okay. And then diffusion distance. So as the distance that we need to diffuse over gets bigger, our diffusion rate is going to go down, right? So, you know, small diffusion distance, it's going to be easy to traverse that distance. If we have a larger distance to go across, it's going to be harder to go across there. Okay. Those relationships are all embodied in these mathematical relationships right here. Diffusion rate is proportional to surface area times concentration gradient times barrier permeability, and it's inversely proportional, or it's inversely proportional to the square of the diffusion distance.